Hi, I'm Raisa Ibrahim Atkinson and I'm an attorney.
Hi, I'm Zahra Parak and I'm an attorney.
Together we practice as such here at Skuman Law Incorporated, situated in Cape Town, South Africa, where we serve the legal needs of the entrepreneur. Today, however, our discussion focuses on residential lease agreements, and more specifically, the rights and obligations which apply to landlords and tenants entering into these arrangements. Before that, however, what is a residential lease agreement? A residential lease agreement is usually entered into when a landlord wishes to lease out property for residential and sometimes for home-based business purposes. It is important for both parties entering into these arrangements to have clarity with regard to the terms of the agreement. This allows for both parties to perform correctly in terms of the agreement and further allows for easy enforcement should a dispute arise.
Residential lease agreements creates both rights and obligations for tenants and landlords. Some of these rights and obligations are as follows. Rental. The landlord shall be entitled to claim a reasonable rental from the tenant, and the tenant in turn shall be responsible for making timely payment of the rental to the landlord. Occupation. The landlord shall be obliged to provide occupation of the leased premises to the tenant, and the tenant in return shall ensure that the property is maintained in a reasonable manner. However, maintenance of the property is generally the responsibility of the landlord, although any damage caused to the property by the tenant shall be attended to in a reasonable manner by the tenant.
These are not only the rights that apply to residential lease agreements. There are many other rights which apply to both the landlord and the tenant. These rights, however, do provide for a holistic theme with regard to the purpose of the agreement.
There are a number of more specific terms in relation to the duration of residential lease agreements and the payment of utilities, amongst other things. The terms may differ in accordance to the specific terms as contained in the rental agreement.
Considering the vast number of terms which may apply to residential lease agreements, it's important to have legal advice when entering into these arrangements. This will allow you to be in a position to ensure that your legal rights are fully catered for.
We trust that you enjoyed our short video on residential lease agreements. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment below.